Hello, collective. I am here to do your medicine bag Monday read and dive into the energies that are in store for us, how we can make best use of them, how we can strike while the iron's hot, get the opportunities that are on offer, and in general, just how we can move through situations with more ease, um, and more alignment with what really will put us in an empowering position in our lives. It's interesting because I was drinking a cup of tea, and it's yogi tea, and they always have like a little quote on there, and this really stood out to me for the collective reading, and it said, "We can always start again." It's not in focus. Isn't that interesting? It's not in focus. I'm not getting the camera to focus on it. There we go. We can always start again. Maybe you're too close to a situation, collective. Maybe you're too close to a situation, you're too activated, you're too like in your feels, and because of that, you're not seeing the situation clearly. Maybe there's a way to start again, but maybe the way you start again is a way you've never started before. And then there's also this piece of, yes, you can always start again, but what point do you want to start from? Do you want to start from the place you were at in the past, the way you moved through situations in the past, the way you handled, other challenges you faced in your life? Or are you ready to start again, as in start at that 0 point, like the fool's journey, and create something altogether new? Okay, so I'm really excited to dive into this energy and just see what's in store this week for the collective. Do understand this is a collective reading, so that's a lot of people, okay? That's a lot of people. There's how many billion in the collective? Okay, so tap into the energy of the overall themes. Don't get too attached. I'm going to call in signs when they do surface. Do be aware that that can apply in many different ways. You don't know everybody's natal chart and all the specifics of their natal chart, so you could be racking your brain if you don't know who I'm talking about off the top of my head. And it could be they're just really expressing that signs kind of energy too, so think about those signs when I call them out and the types of energy they express, and then you might figure out who I'm talking about in your situation. And look at the general themes. I always deliver the messages, whatever wants to come through. Sometimes you can tell it's a message where it's like, well, this isn't going to be everybody's message, but yet it still needs to be heard. So take what resonates, toss aside the rest, and let's just dive in. If you haven't, subscribe. Give a thumbs up if you enjoy the content. Share with somebody that you think could benefit from it. All of this really supports the channel, and it's free, and it's a beautiful energy exchange. Let's keep the energy flowing and keep this place growing as sort of a hub where people can come and connect around stuff that matters, where we can have real conversations with each other. What is in store for the collective this week? Ooh, interesting with the way that just fell out. Okay. We do have a few cards on the board, and they're forming a really easy for me to understand picture here with the way they came out. They came out in groupings. Okay, I feel like this is really the energy that we're moving out of right here. All right. So we have the Hierophant energy, which is associated with the archetype of Taurus, okay? We got the 5 of Cups, and we have the 10 of Swords. So to me, this is a big message of really letting go and trusting that whatever you feel disappointment around, there's something new that comes in to fill that space that was made in your life that's actually more in alignment with where you're supposed to be going now, you know? And I do feel that there's a lot of new energy coming in. It really is about stepping out of like these habitual grooves we formed in our lives where we're always dealing with like the same types of scenarios, even when it's different situations, different people, different places, you know? And it's really time to sort of like break the mold that we cast for ourselves in the past that we've outgrown. It's uncomfortable. It doesn't work. It doesn't fit anymore. And so naturally, as this happens, certain things are released, you know, and that's not always an easy process. It can be a painful process, absolutely. And it's important to hold space for those feelings of disappointment, those feelings of loss. You know, it's important to hold space for it, but you don't need to live there, okay? Because there is something that comes in and it fills that space. It's more aligned with you. It's interesting because in this card, in this Five of Cups, it comes in with bats, and bats are the totem of rebirth, all right? So, but before you can get to the rebirth, right, you have to go through this like dark period. You have to go through that proverbial dark night of the soul when you're really fumbling around and trying to feel your way through. It's like threading the eye of a needle, you know, and it's about finding that little pinpoint of light because you feel this like deep sense of loss, right? I do see that you all have been doing very well moving through it, though, I have to say, because we see in this Ten of Swords, this speaks of the ending, like the ending of a cycle. And a lot of times there's pain involved. This is the ending of a painful cycle. So it's like, it's time to like celebrate, right? It's time to celebrate because it's the end of that. And even though you're looking back at the pain that you went through, you're looking back at the wound, it's really time to like go beyond that and realize it's done. Like that's done. And how wonderful is that? It's done, right? That cycle's done. You're moving into a more light cycle instead of all that heavy shit, right? And I do see that you guys have been doing really good letting go, you know, accepting it. Look at this figure here. You know, she is not fighting this ending. She's not fighting this ending. And this is really interesting because this quote has been coming up for me a lot lately. And I'm paraphrasing here, but it's you know, it's Rumi said that the wound is what lets the light in, right? You know, and I see she's wounded here, right? But she's got her heart is open. You know, there's no guarding, there's no protecting, there's no defensiveness. She's wide open. There's that dark night of the soul of the moon and the stars above. And I just noticed this. I've never seen this in this card before, but it's like there's this kind of like this shadow cast here right around her, and it's like the shape of a heart. And there's the light, you know, there's the light coming through. So I feel like you're in this place of trust where you know in your bones, the light will return. It's an inevitability. I mean, we know this. This is how life works, right? For every night, there's a day. Things don't stay stuck. Things don't stay stagnant. You know, change is inevitable. And there's always reason to celebrate in deep loss because we know that, okay, I've faced the worst of it. So now there's going to be a lighter cycle coming in, you know? It's about trusting that the light will return. And I see you guys have been doing really good with that. I think you've also been feeling that this, you know, this positive energy is coming in. I really feel like right now it's just about continuing to be in that place of trust and sort of having just a rest period, you know, just a moment of deep rest and trust and release and letting go, where you can wait for this news to come in. There is going to be news about your new beginning that comes in. We got this Page of Pentacles energy here. That's Earth sign energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, okay? And I'd say in about 4 weeks, all right? In about 4 weeks. So by the end of June, and this makes sense. This makes sense with the messages I've really been getting about the light returning into people's lives in Leo season. Like as we go further into July and August, that's when we're really going to start to see the turnaround. You know, we're going to start to understand why we went through the shit we went through, like what it awakened in us, the gifts it brought forward in us, how we gained in wisdom, you know, how we learned certain lessons that couldn't have been learned any other way. And then we're going to see like the fruit of that soul work, that spiritual labor, like what results in our material reality because of that. And we see that it's good. We see that it's beautiful. We see that it's a blessing with this Ace of Pentacle energy that comes in here. You know, this is like, it's tangible. When you got the Ace of Pentacles, it's something you can see, feel, and touch. This isn't just like, oh, I got a great idea. No, it's like, this is good news. This is manifestation of abundance, success, you know, a really positive new beginning. And it's something that you can like bank on. It's something that you can count on. So that's a really beautiful energy to come in. Yeah, and I feel like it'll probably arrive. It'll probably arrive in June, right before summer solstice, right? So when solstice fall this year, it's always a day or two either direction, but I think the 21st of June. So I say before June 21st, you're going to get some kind of news about this new beginning coming in, and it's going to be very positive. Yeah, right now you just have to wait for it with this Hangman energy. That's Pisces energy. More of that surrender message, right? More of that just giving over, trusting. Now's not the time to act. Not yet. It's going to be soon, okay? But right now you just got a few more weeks here to just sort of dive deep, you know, relax, trust, know that you did the work. You know, if there's something you still need to walk away from that you know you need to walk away from, maybe you've been like on the fence, you've been trying to make a decision about something. I say this because I see coming in right behind this. Yeah, I see coming in right behind this. We have, you know, the Nine of Swords. There's this lion energy in the past here. They're looking back at that. You know, I relate that to like the Strength card, because in the Strength card, I always look at that lion as like the lions of the past, you know, and the Empress in that card is taming those lions, like gaining, you know, the actualization of the wisdom that she learned through the lessons of the past. So now she understands, I don't need to fight the past. There is no struggle with the past. I can simply just gently hold space for this and be at peace with it, because I've understood the role that the past served. It gave me my medicine. It gave me my strength. It gave me my empowerment. And it was 13:33 on the clock when I said that. You know, it's just like it's such a moment of realizing what a gift that past was, you know, and this piece has been coming in about recognizing the light, right? Recognizing the light within the wound, like the light that got in and starting to come from that expression of it. And I really believe that this week, the message for the collective is about just trusting that that light is returning, just trusting, taking the risk to trust that that light is returning, because simply to take that risk to trust is what opens up the heart center, which opens up your ability to receive what wants to come in for you, okay? So this is really about not allowing the past, not allowing what haunted you in the past, what hurt you in the past to hold you back any longer. You know, I feel like you've been stuck in this place, like not sure what to do, like which direction should I go, and in tandem with this, there's also been all this energy from the past that you've been trying to, you know, work through. And maybe you've been a little bit afraid to move forward with some of the choices that were speaking to you because of senses of limitation that you embodied from the past, the way things were, and that's the way things will always be. Or if I open up to this, I'm gonna end up with egg on my face because that's what always happens. The other shoe's gonna drop. All these kind of beliefs, these things, these ways that we block ourselves, the ways that we kind of hold ourselves back. Ted has a lot to say about this. I can't let you out there right now. You're gonna have to wait a minute, okay? It's a time for rest, Ted. It's a time for rest. Give it a rest. So anyway, we got the 8 of Cups here, okay? We got the 8 of Cups. So if there's anything that you still need to walk away from, now is the time. In these 4 weeks you got here, because you're probably gonna have to get moving. Once we hit that summer solstice and the energy starts to build, that light's returning, man. That light's returning. Right in harmony with it. We're going to be moving in harmony with that, natural flow of energy as we merge into the summer season. That light is also going to grow in us, and the light is going to build in our life. But if there's anything that's holding you back right now, if you have yet to make up your mind about what direction you want to head in, or if you still have stuff you need to tie up from the past, anything like that, now is the time to do it, man, because you're going to have to cross that bridge. Once we hit summer solstice, you're going to have to cross that bridge. You're going to have to walk away from what's no longer serving you and move in harmony with the direction that your spirit's calling you to go. We see that it leads to wish fulfillment with this 9 of Cups energy. Beautiful energy, all right? And again, wish fulfillment. I see that 9 weeks from now, almost 2 months from now, there we are, heading into Leo season. So I keep getting this message, and it was 17:10 on the clock when I said that, okay? So it's that's when the manifestation begins. 17:17 on the clock when I said that. 8, double eights. That's all about manifestation. This is coming in. So right now it's just about getting your ducks in an order, getting everything prepared to welcome this in. Think of the ways that you sabotage your happiness. We see the new cycle brings in the 10 of Cups. That's emotional fulfillment. Those of you that are open to moving into relationship, romantic relationship, or those of you who have been having challenges in a current partnership and have been trying to figure out if there is a way to create healing in the situation, you're going to see a resurgence. And those of you who are single, there's definitely opportunities for this fulfillment of love to come in. Summer is going to be an on and pop in time in the love department, all right? But in order to let that in, you got to look at the ways that you sabotage connections. And this is about understanding the role that you allow the past to play in your relationships now. You don't need to continue to act out these old patterns, or just because you had certain experiences in the past doesn't mean that's how it has to be now. There's a way that you can superimpose the past on your present situation, and it's not fair. It's not fair to you, and it's not fair to the other, because it prevents you from really connecting, because you're still living out of an old storyline that doesn't apply anymore. It's a new cycle. We're really meant to enter into that full energy, that zero starting point energy. And that applies even if you are dealing with somebody from your past. If you are dealing with somebody from your past, or somebody that you have a lot of history with, and so that kind of skews your view of them and skews the way that you interact with them, and kind of is acting as a blockage in the situation. It's time for you to be aware of who you're dealing with this 7 of Swords. You might be dealing with somebody from the past who really fucked you over in the past. All right? Okay? And if that's the case, it's about remembering those lessons, all right? And also remembering, how did the light get in? Okay, so there's a way for you to handle yourself in dealing with people from the past, people you have a history with, where you can do that in an empowering way and you can speak your truth. This could be, healing in a connection from the past. And this doesn't have to apply just on a romantic level, okay? This can be healing a friendship from the past. This can be healing a family connection, from the maybe you've had a period of separation. Maybe you've been at odds with somebody in your family. This is coming through a sister. This just came through really strongly. And you want healing in this connection. There is a way through. There is a way for the light to get in, for there to be healing. This Eight of Cups energy can also be choosing to walk away from, what wounded in the past. And can we approach this in a more evolved way this time? But I do see that in these situations where there's an opportunity for healing that could come in July, it does involve radical honesty. It does involve alignment with spirit, Yeah, this is possible. I do see this, I do see this. This definitely applies to a past situation where there was a lot of heartache. Okay, we do see a tower fell. We got the tower with the Three of Swords, with the Six of Cups. This was like a soul connection, okay? But we see what comes in July. I don't know why it's feeling the need for me to talk about this now, because we're looking at this week. But this is what wants to come through, so I'm going to speak to it. We see that there's going to be an arrival. There's going to be an arrival and an emotional invitation to move forward. It really, to me, with these cards, there's two different scenarios I feel really apply. It's either in connection to a love relationship, or it is in connection to a connection between like a parent and child, and healing a connection between a parent and child. There is an opportunity for healing there. I want to do a cut of the deck energy on that. 22 on the clock when I said that. All right. That's a pretty big partnership sign. There is an opportunity for reconciliation and healing. And I think that's sort of what you're being prepared for right now. Now, even in a reconciliation and healing, that doesn't mean necessarily that things come together in the way they were before, And so it's being mindful of that. Like, what you're creating now is something brand new. You're creating something brand new. And there is no place for the past to filter into it. So even if you're dealing with somebody you have history with, you have to deal with the situation with fresh eyes, right? So I feel like that's so pivotal right now. In order to be able to hop the new timeline, you really have to close the old and step into a new paradigm, like a new way of moving through situations. And it's a more evolved way. It's a more conscious way where the communication has to be very dynamic. I feel like those who struggle with communication issues, those who have throat chakra issues, are going to have a really hard time stepping into the new timeline. So that is also part of the choice with that Seven of Cups that came in earlier. Are you going to stay on the old timeline, or are you getting with the new timeline? There won't be certain people on the new timeline that were on the old timeline. That's just the way it is. Not everybody's going to be willing to step into a new way of relating with each other. Not everybody's going to be willing to take off masks. Not everybody's going to be willing to lay themselves bare, and have that kind of radical honesty. So you just have to be prepared for that. Oh, man. But look at what comes in. 10 of Pentacles, man. 10 of Pentacles. And boy, it comes in swiftly with this Knight of Swords energy. That's Libra energy. Libra and Aquarius and Gemini, okay? Libra, Aquarius, Gemini. Because I said Libra twice, that makes me think of the Justice card, okay? So this could have something to do with something, being done in your favor, that gives you, big financial reward, abundance, stability. This is definitely a card of stability, happy home, financial abundance. Really beautiful card. What a sweet reward. We got the 10 of Pentacles and the 10 of Cups. Come on, man. That's good energy, okay? And also air sign, air collective. This may speak really strongly for you. Look at this. I think air sign collective has really been through some shit. We do see that bat energy here too, okay? So what has died, cycles that have come to a close in your life, air sign collective, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, get ready. There's rebirth energy coming in to the tune of 10 of Pentacles. Like, things are really going to turn around in a beautiful way. And I just want to see what's on the bottom of the deck here. Yeah. And this may involve some kind of partnership, okay, with the Two of Wands energy. Things are going to come together in an unexpected way. That's what I just got. Things are going to come together in an unexpected way. And yeah, we see right behind that Three of Wands energy. This is like the ships coming in, okay? Beautiful message there. Really beautiful message. And I just want to get one of these cards here. This is the White Light Oracle. That tarot deck I was using, by the way, is the Paulina Tarot, if you're curious, because I know people always like to know, what decks are you using? And this one that I'm going to just get one card for the collective from is the White Light Oracle. I don't go by the book that came with it at all, okay? Probably what I get out of these cards has nothing to do with what the artist intended. But that's just the way I am. I don't like to work with books. So we're going to see. I love how it has a wolf on the back, though. So Pathfinder, what is the path ahead for the collective this week? What medicine do they need to gather this week? What's in store for the collective this week? Pathfinder. Oh my goodness. 3 flew out. Ooh, yes. Ooh, I like this. I like this. I like this. Okay, so we have Sacrament of Extreme Unction. All right, I'm just going to show you them one at a time. The artwork is so beautiful. Karma of Kutuhala. Oh, I love this message. I love this message. Yeshi Sokyo. 333. Okay, man, that number has been coming in so much for me. I don't know if you all have been seeing it, but it's been coming up everywhere for me. 333 is all about your guides. It's all about pay attention, synchronicity is all around you. Life is speaking to you. It's also about that ascended master energy, angelic guides, helpers, in the physical, in the spirit realms. And it's about practical help, and also help that comes through, by tapping into that ether energy, tapping into that energy that you can feel, but you can't necessarily see it. You can't necessarily touch it, but you feel it, right? So that intuition, paying attention to the signs, following the signs, and letting them guide you on your path. And tiger medicine is all about the ability to move forward. So really pay attention this week, okay? Pay attention this week, because Spirit is going to be talking to you. People are going to be showing up on your path. You're going to see different signs, in your day-to-day events, as you're just going about your day. Pay attention to multiple themes that come in, and especially if they come in 3. But there's something that's going to come through this week that's going to give you a clue about what direction you need to move, what's coming in. And we really feel that this energy is going to be coming in. Look at that. The way that they are holding themselves in this card here, it totally reminds me of this same shape of this bird energy, this like phoenix energy. So I feel like there's a big important message coming in for you this week, collective. Get quiet, get still, go into that Four of Swords energy so you can be receptive and you can hear it. And also notice the signs around you, because your rebirth is imminent. You're going to rise like the phoenix out of those ashes from the past. And it's all coming in this week. Big downloads coming in this week. Just open up to the flow. It's all going to come in to come through you. See you next week.